The sports page with the Orlando Sentinel and FM 96.9 The Game's Mike the Bulldog Bianchi.
On JRR.
The Bulldog sports page is brought to you by Kaufman and Lind Injury Attorneys. We're Bulldog-less this morning, as we correctly anticipated, Taco Bob, although he just officially informed us like at 4:15 this morning.
I saw that text. I got out of the shower again.
So he
texted.
Go ahead.
Wow, I was like, he texted the, hey guys, not going to be there today. Or anyway,
have my Christmas broadcast. Yeah, he's on site somewhere with Buddy Dyer doing Buddy Claus this morning, and he remembered to tell his little buddies over here at the rock station, about an hour before he had to be on.
But in his defense, it is a very good cause that he does every year. Good charity.
Oh, no, I'm not taking away from that at all. He's predictable. Man.
Oh, yeah, he's so predictable.
So predictable. So we'll have Bulldog back tomorrow, I suppose. That's okay. I'm prepared to proceed as normal with the sports page this morning. We had a Monday Night Football doubleheader. Vikings, Bears, 30-12 was the final. Vikings with the win. Chicago's 8th loss in a row. Taco.
God, that's crazy.
The franchise and its fans had such high hopes with Caleb Williams going into the season, but it's not to be. The coach was dismissed a couple weeks ago. The free fall continues, and now it's the situation they're in. Vikings, on the other hand, now sitting at 12-2. That puts them in a statistical tie with Detroit and Philly in the NFC for a playoff advantage, although Detroit and Philly have a bit of an upper hand on what would be tiebreakers. If the Vikings win out and some things go their way concerning Detroit and Philly, they could end up with the top seed there in the NFC.
It's just getting all knotted up, though.
Yeah, 12-2. We'll see. 3 more weeks of games to go here. We'll see how it all plays out on that side of the league. The other game last night, the Falcons went into Vegas and beat the Raiders with a resounding 15-9 win.
I mentioned earlier, another one of these games, just like, what was the one from Sunday? There was a real turd, too. It was like 12-9 or something.
The win gets the Falcons to 7-7 and snapped a 4-game losing streak. The Falcons started off hot, if you remember, at the beginning of the season, and then this losing streak. So now they're back in the win column. They're at 500. Despite that win, there's still lots of concerns over their quarterback, Kirk Cousins. His statistics not exactly eye-popping last night. 11 of 17 for 112 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. So big question marks remain with the Falcons despite the win. Okay, over in the NCAA football news, some interesting developments. Former Alabama defensive tackle Jaheim Otis, he is the number 1 defensive player in the ESPN transfer rankings, announced he's committing to go to play for Coach Prime at Colorado.
Is he really?
Leaving Alabama, going to Colorado. Another big announcement yesterday is going to leave the Miami Hurricanes depleted at wide receiver. Isaiah Horton was thought to be the number 1 receiver going into next season. He had a pretty good year this year. He announces he's going into the transfer portal. This is really going to leave the Hurricanes short at receivers. They got several guys moving on to the NFL next year.
And they still have their quarterback one more season, correct?
No, they do not. Cam will probably end up, it looks like he may end up as a New York Giant.
Okay.
That's a lot of thought that may be the direction he's heading. Maybe Vegas.
Giants need something.
Yeah, that's for sure. Sacramento State, quite a story going with Sacramento State. They are getting ready to move up to FBS. They're building a new stadium, and they've got $50 million in NIL funds committed. And now comes the news that they've met with Michael Vick to fill the open head coaching position, possibly at Sacramento State. Michael Vick.
Wow, so you have Michael Vick, and then you have in the other league, Prime that you mentioned.
Yeah. Well, they're both at college.
Yeah, exactly. It's just strange.
He hasn't been hired. He just interviewed, but that's an interesting name to see. I did not know he had head coaching aspirations, but he made them known to Sacramento State, and they gladly met with him. We'll see if that leads to him getting the job or not.
I wouldn't do it unless there was that position, like you said, where there's somebody who's a manager in charge of all the NIL.
Oh, God.
I would not even take on that headache. I think Malzahn was pretty smart.
That's got to be the model moving forward for these big, at least the biggest college football programs, is to have a GM in position to deal with all that nonsense. But the trend's starting to develop. Florida State quarterback DJ, I can never say Uga blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
He declared for the NFL draft, so that's going to bring his journeyman status to an end, his journeyman career going from Clemson to Oregon State to Florida State. He will be declaring for the NFL draft. Who picks him and what round and where? We'll see. We'll see. Magic have a break until their next game, which will be on Thursday here in Orlando against Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City, meanwhile, will be playing tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks for the NBA Cup title at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
There's some cash up for grabs of that.
So there's that. What else we got? One final note. NHL, the Tampa Bay Lightning are home tonight against Columbus. Lightning hoping to extend their current win streak to 3 games.
Go Bolts.
All right. That is the sports page this morning here on JRR, brought to you by Kaufman and Lind.
And no, I'm not barking.
Okay, fair enough. Bulldog will be back tomorrow.
Lynch and Taco on. Demand. Download the iHeartRadio app and listen anytime, anywhere.
This is JRR.